This is a tape we never played. We came from Miami, Florida, which is a strange place to be. It feels so good to be here in Gainesville, Florida. Whatever song is next, this is dedicated to Gainesville, Florida.
Valuable or beautiful things.
Vandalism is one of our country's biggest problems.
Teenagers have gathered all across America and have begun to riot. There are bonfires. Never have so many youth come out in support of a cause.
It's called Don't Trust Anyone Over 30, Entertainment by Dan Graham and Friends. And Dan Graham is a conceptual artist. He's a pretty weird dude. He's older now. He's in his 60s. And pretty amazing conceptual artist. So his assistant, her name is Teresa Seaman, and her husband, they were in charge of this project that Dan Graham, the artist, had conceived long ago. And they had our records and they come to our shows and we knew them and they suggested us.
Could you, I guess, tell me a little bit about the concept of the whole production and
Sure.
what it was?
There's a film in the 60s that came out that Richard Pryor and Shelley Winters did called Wild in the Streets, and it's about a little kid who gets fed up with his parents and becomes a rock star and puts everyone over 30 in concentration camps and doses them with LSD. And then he takes over the United States and kind of is like, we're the kids, we have a revolution. And these conceptual artists were like, well, that's our idea. And
Yeah, Dan was like, Dan just adopted the idea because he's crazy. And then,
but they wanted to make it a puppet show with a live punk band, like a rock opera.
And he totally interpreted it, so
I think it's
there's
smart.
arguments definitely for both sides.
All these people working on the project were in so many different generations, all trying to collaborate, and that's kind of what the piece is about, is that youth is always going to be the one to like, fuck that, because at the very end there's the dissenting 10-year-olds that say, fuck that, don't trust anyone over 10, we're taking over. So essentially the message is always going to be relevant, like the cult of youth, and Dan being a 60-year-old conceptual artist and not a 20-year-old conceptual artist, people tend to like look at you a little differently. So I thought it was a really interesting thing. He's a smart man. He's a really smart man. When they're in the play, the woman was like, you have to turn off your cell phones and you have to follow the rules, do not smoke. And Dan is standing right next to her. He's kind of crazy. He's like, break all the rules, and he yelled at it. And people were like, what the fuck? And then he's just like, what? All uncomfortable. So that's just like a pretty good example of how like funny that dude is, of just like doing what he feels at in your 60s. If you can do whatever you want and still be making art and having fun and making ideas that blow people's minds, that's rad. We're sneaking as many kids in the back door as possible and hoping that as many kids would see it as possible, because that's our peer group, and like our peer group is not millionaires or art collectors. Like, you gotta be kidding. But some people involved in the project it is, so that's why when we say like I'm skeptical of it, it's just like, what the fuck is actually going on? The fact that we went and did that was funny enough.
Yeah.
But we were both kind of saying to ourselves, like, I bet this is the last time we see these people, and I bet we never see a copy of this. Just like, fuck it. We stayed in South Beach and got over on these people and had a blast. Like, the cool thing is that we got to go to a party that our friends showed at, and it was at a collector's house. And I never really knew this went on, but collectors just have huge parties during these fairs. Come look at my collection, and they serve a big meal and all this stuff. And our friend Aida Rulova had a video projected giant on the side of the house with the sound in the bushes really loud.
We drove up in a cab, and there was like, it was so sketchy, and the cab driver got all sketched out. And he had like black tinted windows.
That's where Madonna lives, apparently on Key Biscayne.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's dolphins serving fish.
Yeah, there was like manatees.
Manatees as waiters
Manatees dancing.
in tuxedos. That was the best
They
part.
had fire. They imported fire breathers from New York.
Yeah, there's fire breathers.
I guess skateboarding is something that a lot of people don't really intellectualize, and why not? I mean, people are doing crazier shit. More fun.
Those are some of the artists I respect most, like Ed Templeton, Mark Gonzalez, Phil Frost, Margaret Kilgallen, Barry McGee, people that are from our peer group or maybe one step above it, to say like, yeah, fuck it, I'll play ball with these people because that's what it is to be a career artist and not hungry and talking about what they're gonna do. They're doing shit like. For Barry McGee, for example, to go from like, oh yeah, I make small paintings on bottles and whatever I find, to like flip this truck on its side and we're gonna paint the side of it and that's my piece of fine art. That's fucking funny. Like that's hilarious. That's getting over on life, and life is not long, you know. So you might as well just be laughing and be like, you remember we turned the truck on its side and painted it? Like that shit is dope, and then just laugh about
And
it.
it
And
blows
like,
people's mind, and it makes people happy. So it's like, why not like totally embrace every aspect of that, because so many people are enjoying it. And I think like Mark Gonzalez and those guys are doing things really in a positive light in skateboarding, more so than the industry side, or
that's
even
an important
the
subject
writing
for this interview,
side,
yeah.
because they're taking, you know, these impulses that they've had their whole life, and you know, they've been expressing themselves physically and through their lifestyle. And I think it's a progression that a lot of people would like to make, because it's a way to live. And you know, skateboarding puts that in your mind at an early age. You're like, this is something that frees me from you know, the rest of the world, and you can, it's your own, you know, and you're by yourself and doing it. And I think it's just similar impulses maybe.